What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our Week 7 NFL Sunday live stream. We got 5 games on the slate today, just me and Ace going through the board. We'll get right into it. My Steelers playing in a big Sunday night matchup. We're going to end with that. Got 4, actually a very good slate today. Started out with an NFC matchup with the Seattle Seahawks heading to Atlanta to take on Kirko Chains and these Atlanta Falcons. What do you like in this one? Falcons are -3. I'm trying to get this pulled up here. Not used to doing this here. Trying to get the odds, multitasking at absolute max. Let's see. Yeah, Falcons -3. Seahawks +3. Over under at 52. Falcons money line -155. Seahawks +130. Which way do you go on this game?
Yeah, if you guys have been following along to our podcast all year long, you know I'm not high on these Seattle Seahawks. They started off pretty well with the way they were playing early on, but I think they started to fade a little bit. Everybody's injured. Geno Smith starting to write him off a little bit. Kenneth Walker sitting out with that bug, I believe it is. I know he was listed as doubtful, but I don't know. I'm not sold on this team to grab another win. The Falcons are riding high. They had that big win in the prime time over the Buccaneers. And they won again last week against the Panthers where they had Algier and Bijan going on the ground. Looks like they're getting Kyle Pitts back involved with the offense too. And they have Drake London looking at top-end wide receiver. I think it's crazy that they're only -3 this week. I'm locking that one in on my card. I know you got it in our Immortal Locks parlay as well. But I think it's going to be all Falcons this one. Going to be a tough day sledding for Geno. That defense is much revamped on the Atlanta side of the ball, and they're looking good. So I'm ready to lock in this -3. I've been eyeing it all week.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I like these Falcons. I think they're kind of. I know before the season I said I need to see it before I can believe it from the Atlanta Falcons. But I mean, this is a 4-2 team. They have losses to the Chiefs. Obviously, an undefeated team there being Kansas City, and a close one on Sunday Night Football back early on in the year. This team looks like they've caught their stride. I think these are teams that they need to beat up against, especially an NFC matchup at home in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is when I look for, Kirk Cousins is going to be doing the swag surf after the game. Seahawks. I just don't think the cross-country road trip, obviously there's a lot of factors going into this one. Seahawks have not looked good the past couple of weeks. 3-3 now after starting 3-0, losing 3 straight. I think they make it 4 straight. Give me the Falcons -3.
Yeah, kind of crazy that the Seahawks team stumbling pretty hard. 3 straight here. They were looking like world beaters at one point. Everybody on our Instagram comments saying, hey, what about those Seahawks? Well, these are the Seahawks we were expecting. In JSN, he's having that breakout year. DK Metcalf looks like a top-end receiver, but they just can't really put it together. I know they come off a tough divisional loss to the Niners, who are one of the best teams in the NFL, despite their record so far early on. I just think the Falcons are able to get going. It's nice to see them have that two-headed snake at running back, and it's really paying dividends for them. I think, like you said, Kirko Chains is continuing his performance. Is he playing at MVP level? I don't think so, but he's close to it at least. So he's going to continue here. I like them to easily cover that 3. I think Bijan finds the end zone once again. Been hard for him to do this year. But the Seahawks going to be dwindling in that NFC West and seeing their playoff chances kind of fade.
Yeah, the one guy I like to score today, I've been taking him a lot as much. I've been saying Kittle the past few weeks. This is another one. Drake London. Kirko seems to
scores so much, yeah.
He has really made a big step coming into this season. I was kind of lenient on him before, obviously, what I've seen through the first 6 weeks of this year.
Heineke and Mariota.
Exactly. It was hard to judge what he was dealing with. He is a legit quarterback, and he is a legit receiver in the NFL now. Give me him +125 to score a touchdown today. I've been taking that. There's great value. He ends the games with like 8 receptions. He gets the targets from Kirk. They absolutely have that good connection. Obviously, you still have the Darnell Mooney aspect. He's been having a hell of a year. Is it because of the quarterback or the receivers better? Who knows? This Falcons team, everything's clicking. That's why we're both on the Falcons here, -3 today. We have another great matchup in the 1 o'clock slate. The Houston Texans heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers also a 3-point favorite. Texans, like I said, +3, over under at 48.5. Packers is the same exact odds as the last game. Packers money line -155, Texans +130. I lean on the Packers here just at home. I don't have a good feel about this game. Texans, obviously, their only loss this year is an away game in the NFC North. This is another, this plays into that. Obviously, I think they're 5-1, with the Packers being 4-2, if I'm correct. Is that?
Yep.
So I look for the Packers to pick up a home win here. I'm not super confident in it. That's why, they're getting the field goal. They're favored by the field goal. They're at home in Lambeau. The weather's starting to turn. It's going to be a little chilly there today. Give me the Packers -3. I think Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, Josh Jacobs. I think that they're able to get something going. I like the Packers today at home.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. I'm so high on both these quarterbacks, Love and Stroud. I think they're two of the next superstars of the NFL, the way they've been throwing the ball, leading their teams so early on. I really love that value with CJ Stroud, though. How often do you see a Texans team that's this loaded, sitting at plus almost 140 on the money line? I think you might see this on my card. I know it's going to be a tough game, but CJ Stroud's got to keep things going. Diggs looks great. Dell looks great. Joe Mixon was inserted back into that lineup last week, and he's one of the best running backs in the league. Can't believe the Bengals let him walk, but I know they have no money. I think he finds the end zone yet again. Look for Dell to receive all those Nico Collins touchdowns as he's out for the year, and Diggs to continue doing his thing as Stroud continues to look to 1-3's way. You can go with any of the reception props for them. I think any of the three can find the end zone as well. And then that defense is stepping up too. Defensive player of the week with Will Anderson. Had a great game against the Patriots. I think he has another great game here, kind of causing some havoc. But Matt LaFleur has really instituted that great offense. He put together that play that everybody in the NFL seems to use now, that double fake. You can fake it to the running back, then you fake a screen, hit your tight end over the middle. And they've got Kraft, who's one of the best tight ends in the league now, jumping onto the scene, really holding his own too. All those receivers in Green Bay. I like a lot of points here. Even though there's pretty good defenses, both these quarterbacks are going to chuck. Watch for it to start slow and pick up late.
Yeah, I like that. Give me. I also another. I was gonna say another touchdown I like today was Tucker Kraft sitting down there plus 210. You alluded to that. He's been a big part of that offense. The past 2 weeks he's kind of cooled off. That Rams game he absolutely popped off for the Packers. Give me him to get back in the end zone today at plus 210. Also,
Huff, let me get it. Let me get into some of our questions here. Love these questions in the chat. All you on TikTok, keep flooding our chat. We'll help you get the good bets, get the good lineups in for your fantasy team. Starting off, do I start James Cook, Debo, or Aaron Jones today? I'm going to go with Debo. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup, and they're going to have a tough time running the ball traditionally up the middle against Chris Jones. So they're going to look to get him involved in the passing and rushing game. Brock Purdy's having a great year too. Start him up. I think a high-scoring matchup between the two Super Bowl contenders from last year. We got a comment that says, let's go Pats here. I got him up on my screen too. Got him plus 260 on the money line. If you saw our Instagram, make sure you're following there. We post all of our plays, and I locked him in earlier this morning. Make sure you get that good value on him. Huff, here's one for you. Full pull PPR, Josh Downs versus Miami or Najee Harris versus the Jets? I think I know who you're going with.
I think Najee scores. That's the only thing that's tough. I don't love the Colts today as much as I did. That they are going back with Anthony Richardson, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that just I don't love their passing offense when he's under center. I've totally turned my opinion on him. I think they're a better suited offense with Flacco, at least what we saw when they beat the Steelers a few weeks ago. He stepped right in, looked like he hadn't missed a beat from last year. I'd probably go with Najee. Doesn't get you much going in the receiving game, but I like his chances to cross the goal line today, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, and that Jets defense has been pretty lackluster against the run. They were expected to be so good this year, and they've been kind of a little mid. Maybe it's because the Jets offense has been letting them down and they're on the field so much. I still think they're a good unit. But Najee Harris coming back to life. We saw him shake one of the defenders into oblivion last week. I believe that was the Raiders, and he's starting to look like his old self, the Alabama self. Maybe it helps having valid weapons around him, but we'll see how it fares with Russell Wilson under center. You might get a different look if they can stack the box a bit more against Najee and not worry about that true running threat that Justin Fields was. Couple more here before we get back to our next games. Derrick Henry or Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin looks fucking great. He has a great connection with Jaden Daniels, but they're playing the Panthers, which makes me worried about the Redskins prop, and there's zero chance I'm ever sitting Derrick Henry. He better be in your lineup every week. Best running back in the league. Mostert or Eckler? That's a more interesting one. I like Mostert off the bye. Eckler is more.
Patriots take a lead, 6-0.
Yeah. You're ahead of me, Huff. Come on.
I'm looking at the MGM.
All right, we'll watch this live. 3rd and 10. Drake May from the 16-yard line. He's lined up in the shotgun with Ramondre to his right. He drops back. He finds Ramondre. See ya. And Ramondre jukes too. And he's in. And the Patriots are up. You'll love to see it. How good is Drake May? Plus 260 on the money line. Couldn't believe it. But back to some of these questions. I'm going Mostert off the bye. I think it's going to be a big offensive day for those running backs. McDaniel's going to scheme his good players the ball, and he hasn't found the end zone too much this year. Led the league last year. P. Diddy or Epstein, we're going to go with neither there. You want to stay away from both those parties. Brian Robinson or J.K. Dobbins. I'm going to continue to fire up J.K. Dobbins. I think he's continuing a great year. You get him in the prime time too. I believe they're playing tomorrow night against the Cardinals, right?
I like Robinson there. He's been an absolute workhorse in my one fantasy league. I couldn't imagine myself sitting him right now with how
But
that
Dobbins is
Commanders
getting
offense is
20
going.
plus a game. He's getting 20
They're
plus touches a
they're
game.
both sitting right around there, like not touches, but Robinson gets the goal line looks. Um, Dobbins obviously has that
Yeah.
big play ability where he's breaking like 30 or 40 yarders every couple.
They
He's
both mix
involved
in
in the
some
receiving game.
receptions too, so you
Yep.
can't really go wrong with either. But we'll get back to the chat here. Keep them coming. Well, let me just rattle off a few. Ty Goodson or Najee. We're going Najee. Stroud or Mahomes. I'm gonna go Stroud there. I think it's a good shootout. Barr or Mayfield. That's a great question.
Who do the Bengals play? Browns. Mayfield.
Yeah, I'm going Mayfield for sure. I think he has a better chance of putting up big numbers. Jordan
I think that's a
Addison.
better chance of being a higher scoring game. I was telling Mackie I like the Ravens in that game, but I think that'll be an over game.
Browns
So.
love low scoring games. This AFC North battle. I know they've been weird so far this year with some higher point scoring, but I think the Bengals handle this one.
I agree.
And I don't think he has to do too much. Jordan Addison, because the Lions will probably double Jefferson. Jefferson's still going to get his, but you can start Addison too in the over. The Steelers today, these guys like the Steelers. I'm not on them, but that's going to be a tough game. We'll get to that later. Barrow, Mayfield, Barrow, Moss, or Pickens. We're going to go Pickens and Stroud over Love, and then MHJ over Lockett and Ayuk. All right, some good questions there. Lions, money line, last comment. But Huff, get us back to these games here. We got some good ones.
Yeah, speaking of the Lions, we're going to get into this NFC North matchup with Detroit heading to Minnesota. Minnesota undefeated on the year still. Detroit coming off a huge win in Dallas. Obviously, they're now 4-1 after taking their bye week, 5-0 for the Vikings. Vikings are home in this game. Vikings -1.5, Lions +1.5, over under at 50.5. Vikings money line -125, and the Lions at +105. Which way do you go here?
I go towards those Vikings. How can you bet against the team who's undefeated? They're coming off of the bye week too, which is massive to me. I love teams coming off a bye week. I don't know about you. That's one of my favorite things in football. I know the Lions were so jacked up for that Cowboys game last week. Maybe they got the little overhype there, and now they got to go play a divisional game on the road against the Vikings team who's undefeated and scaring a lot of people. I think they have the best coach, or not the best coach, but the best coordinators in the league with Brian Flores on the defensive side of the ball and Kevin O'Connell leading his team and running that offense. Maybe not the best. There's others that are better, but the best tandem on both sides of the ball. He's got them playing great. That defense is stepping up. Nobody expects it to be the defense that it is. Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the league. I think he's showing you that. Aaron Jones is back in the mix. They just brought back Cam Akers, who they had last year and left from injury, so they like him. I think Hawkinson has a chance to play today, which is nice to see too. And Sam Darnold's playing great football. But my favorite play in this one's probably the over here because those Lions know how to put points up too, and their defense is kind of weak. I think Montgomery and Gibbs probably both find the end zone once again because they always do. Amon-Ra is going to keep going. Like Pickens said, he's a slot merchant, but who cares? That's a great receiving formula in the NFL. And Laporta too. So Jameson Williams stepping up with him. There's just options galore on both sides. I like a lot of points, but I think the Vikings are able to stay undefeated here.
Yeah, I originally said I like the Lions. I do lean on the Lions here, but it is dropping at +1.5. Obviously, I would probably just take them on the money line, but I like the over here. Give me the over 50.5. I'm going to say it last week, like I said about that Detroit versus Dallas game. This is the game of the week where I'm not really going to think about it too much. I'm going to see that high over under. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I could see one of these teams put up 30 today.
Yeah, I could see both teams honestly putting up over 30. There's potential for game of the week. I think that Texans Packers this game and then the Super Bowl rematch are all potential for game of the week here. Shady, maybe your game too, but that's going to be a different type of game of the week. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of the great ones. Everybody's hyped up for this one. Whoever wins this game, I believe, will be sitting atop the NFC North too. So very big implications. It's going to be hotly contested. I expect touchdowns early and often. I think a good bet here might be a touchdown in the first 7.5 minutes. We don't bet that too often, but it's a pretty fun one to watch.
What, the first half of the first quarter, there will be a touchdown?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the prop. It's like first 6, 7, or 8 minutes, depending on the matchup. Will there be any score? It's not even a touchdown. It could be a field goal. We'll cash that. But I think there's a quick score in this one. Just big plays waiting to happen. Maybe if you can go look at some of those weird props too, like longest touchdown over X amount of yards, I think it's going to hit as well. We've seen those big plays week in and week out. Trick plays too. But let me get back to our chat real quick. We got a lot coming in here, Huff. Kyler or Jordan Love? I think we're gonna stick with Jordan Love in that shootout, even though Kyler gives you great stats, especially when they start losing too. And I think they have a
Kyler on
chance to
Monday
win this
night.
week.
I don't want to. I don't want to have to wait around until Monday night to see Kyler only
Yeah,
put up 14 points for
and
me.
like we're just so locked in on this Love Stroud shootout that have to match each other, and he has all those receivers too. LaFleur scheming the offense, but you really can't go wrong either way. If you do end up choosing Kyler, I think he has a good game too. He runs for those yards too, so that really helps out. Depends on how your league plays that. This is a good question. Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt? Oof, you're really getting to me. Hunt has a Chunt. Remember Chunt from a few years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Kareem Hunt has a tough matchup with these San Francisco 49ers, but he looked great in the workhorse role. They're coming off of the bye, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back. Meanwhile, Nick Chubb's making his season debut, and he looks healthy. Looks to be one of the best in the league.
I can't start Nick Chubb right now
because he might be on the pitch count. And they said he's not going to be. Stefanski said, we're just going to let him play and let him play it out and see how it goes. But
it's
I have
such
a feeling
Browns thing to say. Like you got your season is over. You're 1-5. You're getting your star guy back. Everyone's hyped to have him back. They're just gonna run him to the ground 30 times. Like, no way. He's definitely on a pitch count.
Yeah, I think he finds the end zone, though. I really think he does. And he
They
probably
also
looks
said he
good
could have
doing
played
it.
last week. So
It depends.
Maybe that's
Look at your matchup. I'm going to go with Hunt here. If you have a matchup where you need a blow-up week, maybe you go with Chubb as a dart throw. But if you have other good players on your team and you have a solid record, go with Kareem Hunt. He's going to get the volume. You know he's going to get the touches. He hasn't really impressed in the passing game, which is the only annoying thing. But the total yards are coming on all the touches, and you'll probably find the end zone once again this week. I like Hunt here. Saquon TD a lock against his former team. The lock might be him to get banged up on that MetLife grass. I hope not, but I think he does find the end zone against the Giants. And you're going to see Eagles -3 on my card. So, do you have any difference on that one?
No, I've every single person's first thing they've said about this Eagles Giants game is just like Saquon's got to score, right? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
He didn't last week. He looked very pedestrian last week. Ever since that MVP breakout he had in game 1 of the year for the Eagles, he's looked really mid. And I don't know what it is, but it's that receiving game for the Eagles that I'm leaning on more heavily today. But I'm going to say yes for the Saquon touchdown just because I love the narrative. I love a revenge game type thing. But we'll rattle off some quick ones here so we can get back to the games. Pick one for flex. Mooney, Hunt, Montgomery, Robinson. Montgomery scores every week. He's scored every week since
Montgomery.
like week 13. You got to ride it till the wheels fall off. Daniels anytime touchdown. Jaden Daniels? I don't know. I don't think he has to run that much. He's not going to put himself in harm's way.
I was just going to say I don't think he has to run much today.
Patriots getting the ball back, boys. Let's go. Let me get some W's for the Patriots in the chat. Up 7-0 out in London. Getting the ball back already. Marcus Jones, big play waiting to happen. All right, let's keep going. Aaron Carrera saying riding Tucker Craft anytime. Yeah, that's the boy right there. We like that. Great value too. Some other boys jacking that one up. Seattle over Atlanta money line. Settle down, buddy. We don't like that there. Addison Monty anytime touchdown. Vikings went outright. Yeah, I like all those plays. Kraft or Laporta. Ooh, Huff. Kraft or Laporta.
Laporta's been. I have. Those are my two fantasy tight ends in different leagues. Laporta has been very underwhelming this year.
I think you have a better floor with Kraft, which is crazy to say.
Yeah. Like Laporta's floor is he doesn't touch the ball at all today because that offense has enough weapons for him to not be out there and him just be out there as a sixth lineman. Whereas Kraft,
LaFleur is getting Kraft the ball. He's getting him the ball.
He gets at least 4 receptions a game, and usually he's one of those tight ends like Kittle where if he gets in space, he's not the slowest guy. Like he can get you an extra 20 yards after catch.
Yeah, interesting to see. I like both those options though. It's
I'd go Kraft, but this could be. I mean, you're looking at a shootout game between the Lions and the Vikings. That's a tough situation to be in. Both games I think are shootouts with the Packers and Texans and Vikings and Lions.
Yeah, we got another question here from Aaron Curtis. Shout out to Dim Sum. You'll have to see the fourth liners getting up to diamond. But does Derrick Henry keep his TD streak alive? Yeah, I think he does. I think that's auto. It's a great game too. That Bucks Ravens game on Monday Night Football. I'm excited for that.
I'm glad they gave us that and the other game. Is the one that's solely on.
That one might get really high scoring. The other one,
the Cardinals Chargers.
Yeah, the two teams that hate playing defense. Jesse, thanks for highlighting these for us today. That's Jesse behind the scenes. If you guys don't know, you got to tune into our pod. He's heating it up on the card too. But Josh Downs, Leggett, or Juju? I'm going with Juju. I'm big on Juju. I think that chemistry they have is great, and he's going to have a big day again. They're going to need to find air yards against this team.
I'd take a chance on Leggett over Juju personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, I took a chance on Leggett a couple weeks ago, and he flopped for me, and he's sandwiched a flop in between two good weeks, so it's really tough for me to stay consistent with him.
Yeah.
And I like Sermon though on that offense, but with Richardson, he's going to vulture your touchdowns too, so it kind of limits that chance. Eckler or McConkey at flex, or Michael Pittman. I'm going McConkey because Pittman and Richardson don't really have that chem. It's really the Alec Pierce chemistry with him. Plus, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Monty, Sermon, and Mason. Anybody ask about David Montgomery? He's got to be in your lineup. He's got to be in
Montgomery, Henry. These are guys you can't be sitting.
I think Kareem Hunt or Brian Robinson. Well, that's a good question too. I'm going with Kareem Hunt again. Great volume and a high-scoring matchup. And again, it's tough to start these Redskins guys today, Commanders, whatever you want to call them, with a matchup against the Panthers, because if they start blowing them out, then your fantasy days are really weary. A couple more here before we get back to it. Kraft or Kincaid? We're gonna go with Kraft there again, even though I'm huge on Kincaid. And he keeps
Kincaid has been. I've been waiting for him to make that next step, and like he just.
But they have a lot of mouths to fill. The Bills are a tough fantasy team this year because Josh Allen's playing winning football, not MVP level. I mean, I guess it is MVP level, but he's not stat padding, and he's just going the guys who are open. They're not forcing anybody the ball. They have another mouth in Cooper, and they're just looking to win. So. Tough spot there. Last couple here. Russell Wilson throwing for 302 touchdowns tonight. Okay, I want whatever you're smoking. How you boys doing? We're doing well. We love being with you here on Sunday morning. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. Hit the Bucks.pod on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Not Snapchat, but maybe. TikTok, YouTube, Rumble. We're always out. Podcast every Wednesday. We're all cashing big bets. We got me and Jesse leading the card so far for the NFL. And we give you card plays on every other sport, too, that do really, really well. I love the NHL. That's heating up right now. But last one here, Hunt or B-Rob again. Still going Hunt. Kraft or Ertz, it's Kraft easily. And Pittman, Eckler, McConkey, I'm going to go McConkey. And Rodgers or Mahomes, it's got to be Mahomes. Rodgers had a tough matchup today. And Ayuk over Sermon. All right, Hoff, let's get back to our games. Keep those chats coming, though.
Yeah, we got a Super Bowl rematch with Kansas City heading to San Francisco. Niners a 1.5-point home favorite. Over-under at 47. Niners money line -125. Chiefs at +105. Andy Reid in his career is 21-4 off a bye week, and Patrick Mahomes is 11-1 as an underdog.
Oh, geez, that makes you think Chiefs all the way. I don't know if I could pick a side in this game. I'm going over 47 here. I believe that's the total you said, right?
Yeah, 47. I can't. I don't know if I'm going to card it, but I'm going to lean on the Chiefs. If you're taking a side in this one, give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's so tough. And we saw George Kittle and Deebo Samuel in their podcast the other day saying, we've never beaten this team. Like, we've never beaten Patrick Mahomes.
They know it, yeah.
But if there ever was a time to, it would be this week. The Niners, I think, are trending up. I really do think they're trending up. Jordan Mason's healthy, too, which is nice to see. I think Brock Purdy's having a great year, and it's going very unnoticed. Brock Purdy is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm going to put him off the dome. I'm going to put him at the 7th or 8th best quarterback in the NFL, but you could rank him even higher, and he's only going to get better as the years go on. Mr. Irrelevant really showing how good he is. They got a big divisional win last week. Oh, Drake May. Great run, Drake May. That's why we drafted him. But yeah, like I said, Shanahan's really showed us that they're the team to beat NFC West. They won that game last week on the road against the 12th man. I think at home against the Chiefs, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them this week. I don't know if it's going to be on my card. It's not my favorite bet. This is going to be the one that we're all watching, but I think they're able to win. I love the Kittle touchdown once again, like we've been saying. I think there's touchdowns all around. I think Debo finds one, Debo and Kittle on that side, and then I think Kelsey finds the end zone along with Kareem Hunt, and I think Juju has a big day. Both quarterbacks have solid games. It might start a little slower and then pick up towards the end. But these two run defenses are tough, so I'm not really leaning on the running backs here to have big yardage days. But, Huff, let me know what you think about this Super Bowl rematch in San Francisco.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a higher scoring game. I want to ask you this. Who is Isaac Guerendo?
Isaac Guerendo? Yeah, he's their running back 3. I believe there was – who was the number 2 last year? That guy's been out for the year. He's still on the shelf for them. They got backed up McCaffrey. His name's slipping my mind right now. So it's Mason and Guerendo. Guerendo, I believe he ran the fastest 40 time, if not one of the fastest 40 times at the combine. It was evident last week when he stepped in for Mason. He had that long run. I think it's just being a merchant of that O-line. Whatever running back you put behind that San Francisco 49ers O-line with all the weapons outside that the teams have to respect, I think they're going to have a big day. A lot of people that picked up Guerendo were hoping Mason was out and he'd be a great flex play this week, but I think he's still going to get some touches here, but it's going to be the Mason show once again. Someone asking right here, does Guerendo have any fantasy value? Tough call. I don't think so. I really don't. He might have a big play, waiting to happen, but with Mason in the lineup, he's not worthwhile to start, in my opinion. Good player, but just buried on the depth chart. Also, Drake May driving once again. This guy is good. He's the real deal. Huff said he wanted Fields and Russell Wilson over him. Guy is crazy.
What do you think? I heard you chirp me there at the end, but I was making a parlay here. So, 4 guys that I like to score just as like a
Debo and
long
Kittle,
shot.
right? Are you saying in this game or on the day?
No. On the day, I was making a little bit of a parlay. Drake London,
Yep.
Tucker Kraft. This is like a crazy. I like.
Yeah, good odds play.
Yeah. Drake London plus 125. Tucker Kraft plus 210. Justin Jefferson minus 155. Travis Kelce plus 125.
Take out Kelce though. I said he's gonna score, but that guy's let me down so many times. I think he does find the end zone here. Yeah, I like Kittle more than Kelce. The volume's there.
Let me see what the odds are with Kittle.
He's been doing it much more this week. How many times has Kittle gotten the end zone versus Kelce? Kelce, my buddy Abik Patel, shout out to you if you're listening, long-time listener. He's always like, is it Kelce's week? Is it Kelce's week? No, I've watched the Patriots dynasty, and the Chiefs are in the same mode right now. It's going to be playoff time. That's when we'll get the Kelce props and start hammering them again. While Huff's cooking up his parlay and finding those odds, let me get some quick questions in the chat here. Not too many more, but Aaron Jones over 23 receiving yards. It's not my favorite play of the day. Go find a better prop for me in Lions Vikings, and I'll give you the odds on that one. Niners downfall starting. You're crazy. Beak, you in the chat? Yeah, Beak, where you at, buddy? Where you at? Give us some more questions in the chat here. I want to know what you guys are looking at for anytime touchdowns. I want to know what you're looking at for your fantasy plays. I want to help you guys out here. Hunt TD, yeah, I think Hunt does find the end zone today. And what was the picks for anytime? Yeah, the anytime parlay. This isn't Huff's lock of the week, but this is a very good value play. He's got Drake London coming at plus 125, parlayed with Tucker Kraft at plus 210, parlayed with George Kittle and Justin Jefferson. Huff, those 4. What are the odds you got on that one?
Plus 2,800.
You put $10, you win 280. You put $100, you win 2,800. So that's your long shot dart throw of the day with good reasoning behind it with 4 guys who very likely could find the end zone today. That's a great one. We're going to post our official plays like we said. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter. We post all of our plays there, and that's where you can see our official locks of the week that we actually card. But that's a nice dart throw by Huff that I like a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. Hoping to get some points here. Let's get into our Sunday night matchup. New York Jets heading to my Steelers. Steelers a 2-point home dog. Over under at 39. Steelers money line plus 110. Jets minus 130. I'll get us started here. I do think this will be a lower scoring game again. Steelers in the primetime love to keep these ones close to the vest. We don't know what Devontae Adams is going to look like with the Jets. Is it going to be clicking? Obviously, we do know what Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams look like together. Yeah, that was 3 or 4 years ago at this point. But everyone's just acting like they're going to jump right in and look like 2017, the Green Bay Packers. But I got to see it before I can believe it. I'm going to see it firsthand tonight. Russell Wilson probably going for the Steelers. Still hasn't officially been announced. Give me my guy under center. I can't wait to see his Steeler debut. I like the Steelers to pick up a win here. More confident in this to be a lower scoring game with these 2 defenses. I think the Jets will get theirs. I also like a Freiermuth touchdown in this game, plus 300. We know what Russell Wilson's favorite target is. Obviously, a great tight end. He's done that throughout his career. He made guys in Denver, people they couldn't even pronounce their name, relevant last year, scoring a couple of touchdowns with them. So give me Russ to find Freiermuth. Another one I like is an anytime is Pickens. I'm going to go with Freiermuth, though. The 3-1. I like the juice there. Give me Freiermuth. Give me the Steelers. Give me the under. I'll probably only have the under on my card, but just for the sake of the opinion, I like the Steelers to come out on top. I like Freiermuth to get in the end zone. Freiermuth's been quietly having a hell of a year for a tight end too, especially with the QB situation. I know Fields is a similar guy with those running quarterbacks seem to love their tight ends across the middle a lot. Freiermuth having a hell of a year. I got to jump on it and take him the anytime touchdown.
Yeah, it's not often that you're reading my mind on some of these Steelers games because you know how anti I am on this team that can't really cook any offense, and they got Russ cooking at the helm again. He's usually cooking slop. But I am right there with you with Freiermuth and Pickens. I'm glad you said that. If there's anybody that's getting a boost in this offense from him being under center, Russell Wilson, it's Pat Freiermuth and it's George Pickens. George Pickens complaining a lot, a little diva wide receiver going on, saying, I want the ball. I'm better than these guys. I want to get traded maybe. I don't want to be here. Well, you're going to get the ball early and often this week. We saw what Russ did with DK and Lockett. We're going to see it here again for 14 out there in Pittsburgh. I don't know about Fryermuth finding the end zone, but I like his reception prop. I like Pickens' props too. I think they both get the ball a lot. I think Najee ends up finding the end zone on a short carry. I think Breece Hall might find it as well. I'm on the Jets here. I don't know if I can card them. They're on my no bet list after losing to the Broncos at home earlier in the season. But this is going to be a great game here. I bet against the Steelers last time they were on Sunday Night Football, and I cashed out on it with the
Went well
underdogs
for
there.
you, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a crazy game. Hopefully, there's no lightning making this one start too late tonight. Hopefully, we get an on-time kickoff. I think one of the best players on the field is going to be Chris Boswell once again. That guy's having a career year in kicking terms, really carrying the load for that offense. You got to think the airing the ball out more here. Two good defense going up against each other. Jesse's been great on the totals this year. He's got the under here.
I'm taking that. You just said that. I'm taking that. That'll be on my card. Boswell over 1.5 field goals.
And he's been doing it all year long. And
minus 110, I'm taking that.
Yeah, he's got the big leg too. He's banging them from 50 plus. That's some good odds for it. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be a weird game to see. That total sitting really low for me. I'm not betting a total there because I can see it go both ways. Like we said, Rodgers has Devontae. He's got Lazard and Wilson. I've been all over the Wilson props all year long. I still think Garrett Wilson continues to get his receptions week in and week out. He's going to have 6+. So if you got him on the receiving prop, fire him up. I think Lazard still has a solid game. That 3 wide receiver set's going to be great to see. Allen and Hall, I'm not going to card any of their touchdowns because they like to split the workload there. But I got the Jets here in this one going onto the road. I think the Steelers drop back. The Steelers are going to end right around that 9-8 mark like they always do. 10-7, 9-8, 8-9, right in that range. So you know that they're due for a couple losses. I think this is one here this week against one of the teams that's looking to get back into the AFC conversation. You don't go and get Devontae Adams and then lose to a team that you're supposed to beat. When you're favored in this game, you're the New York Jets. You have to win this game or else your season's over. Season on the line. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers run the Pat McAfee show. They're ready to go this week. And you got to think Devontae finds the end zone as well. Let me get some questions.
Are you still watching the Patriots game?
Oh, yeah.
Are they in the red zone?
There's just a flag, so they might get pushed out of the red zone here. But Drake May's driving, dude. You said you were not high on this Drake May guy, and I'm gonna keep giving it to you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you should see the way he's playing.
You compared him to my guys. I'm obviously gonna take my guys over your guys, but in this situation, yeah, I said he was gonna look good.
He's Huff. You know what looks great though? The mobility in the pocket too. He can extend the play, but then he gets the receivers time to get open. He's using his tight end. He's making good throws. But let's remember, he's playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did it last week against the Texans too. But this guy's just growing confidence. I'm bought back in on the Patriots with it. You know I got him plus 260 on the money line. If you guys are following our Instagram, you saw that one. But a couple more picks. James Cook, Aaron Jones, or Debo. I'm going Debo. Off topic, is Utah hockey the real deal? Yeah, it is. They're pretty good. Henry, Barkley, Kyron, Montgomery, and Jettis anytime touchdown. Yeah, I like all of them to get in. That's a good play. Kyron, Shady, I'm on the Raiders money line today, but that's just the craziest pick I've ever heard of. Will Chase hit for 6 receptions? Jamar Chase? I don't know. I'm not putting that one on my card just because, like I said, there's a chance that they blow out the Browns because the Browns have been so bad. There's a chance it's a really low-scoring game. Last week, Jamar did not hit his receiving prop.
Dude, I kind of like the Browns in that one.
Me too. I have him in the money line, but there's a chance that it's a blowout just because the Watson is terrible. There's a chance it's a blowout, but it's an AFC North game, so it could go either way. There's too good of value on the Browns. I think that's what you're seeing like I did, right?
I don't know if you can say value because of how bad they've been all year, but like I just think this is a spot.
The Bengals aren't good either.
Exactly. Lower scoring game. Like Cleveland shouldn't be that big of an underdog against a team that only has one more win than them.
Yeah, I agree with you. And someone
especially at home.
Yeah, right. Someone in the chat here saying Moose. I mean, yeah, I think he's gonna have a good day. He's gotta get going with the way Russell Wilson likes to use his tight ends. Derrick Henry or Terry McLaurin. Buddy, it's Derrick Henry. It's always Derrick Henry. The King's gonna find the end zone. He's gonna push for offensive player of the year too. Yeah, Anthony, way to reply for us. Henry, for sure, you got us, bro. Why are you even asking that, bro? Yeah, you're not wrong. But hey, Carson, we like the questions. You got any more? Definitely fire them our way. She loves Kendo. I don't know who Kendo is, but Kendo loves Adams to the Jets. Yeah, I think he gets in the end zone. And last one here, Drake May. Yeah, Drake May is a dog. He is a dog. All right, let's keep going.
Our mortal locks will slide into that. My mortal lock, I kind of already alluded to it. Steelers Jets under 39, minus 110. I like that for the mortal lock of the week for my Steelers. Ace, go ahead and provide the
Yeah,
people
mine's going
with
to be
your lock.
Justin Jefferson hitting the gritty this week at home against the Detroit Lions. I think the last time he played them, he went up for over 100. I like him. If you can do the trifecta on the Justin Jefferson play, over receptions, over yards, and a touchdown, you're going to get really good value there. And I think he finds the end zone. My lock of the week is Justin Jefferson, minus 110 on FanDuel. So make sure you shop your odds to get in the end zone. Huff had him at minus 155, so really shop that one around.
Yeah. Team parlay this week. Jesse's leg an alternate under in the Steeler game, under 44.5.
I like that.
Ace going with Eagles -3 against the Giants. I'm going with the Falcons money line over the Seattle Seahawks. The three-legger will bring you at plus 360. Hit our first one of these last week. It was a little bit of a slow start to the season. I think we were 0-5 or 0-4. Now we're sitting at 1-5. Got a little win last week. It was only like a plus 180. So
These are long shots, though. Our favorite plays are posted on our Instagram. Huff, let them know.
Yeah, we had to. It feels good to hit one. I really like this one, honestly. Looking at this now, end it with the Sunday night under. The Sunday night unders have been hitting. I think they're maybe 5-1 or 6-0 to start the year. I was looking at that with Jesse the other day. Might have to hop back on my first half and full game unders every Sunday night. I might have to consider that tonight. But yeah, Ace, if you want to tap back into the chat, we're good on Mortal Locks. The parlay, we'll have all of our plays posted by, I'd say, 11:30. You already obviously have your Patriots play posted, so make sure these people are tuning in to hitthebooks.pod on Instagram, hitthebooks_pod on Twitter. Get all of our plays out there for the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock slate, and then make sure you're staying tuned for our Monday night edition as well tomorrow.
Yeah, before I get to the chat real quick, I wish Kendrick Bourne would get sent to the moon. Put that guy in the trade block ASAP. Our young guys are the ones to go with. Damari Douglas, Jalen Polk, and then Hunter Henry. He's dropped a wide open first down to put us inside the 10, but we'll take 3 points there and go up 10-0. Couple quick things in the chat here. Drake May, yeah, it's called the Drake Matriots. Chase Brown or James Conner. James Conner's scaring me. I don't know why last week they started giving the ball to everybody else but him. I'm going to go with Chase Brown. He had a lot of touches last week, and he looked electric. And the way that they used him in the passing game, if you're in a PPR league, he's just turning up. A-Chain or Connor. A-Chain off the bye is going to have a big week here. I think he might be the reason the Dolphins win this game. Him and Mostert are both going to have big days. Huff, this one for you. Mark Andrews or Pat Freiermuth this week? I have a feeling I know which way.
Yeah, give me Freiermuth. But Andrews has been kind of skeptical last week. He kind of broke the seal, if you will, and got in the end zone. But give me Freiermuth. I think the Russ, like you said, that boosts him, I think, more than Pickens. I think he's the number one guy with Russ under center.
Plus, Lamar spreads the ball so much, and likely has come on as that tight end. They have Kolar too, so it's kind of tough. As a Ravens fan, I'd probably say Muth. Yeah, me too. But you just know as soon as you say Andrews is going to get touchdowns in back-to-back now. But I think Muth is a safer play. Andrews just has a higher ceiling, in my opinion. Geno or Kirk? Oh, it's got to be Kirk. I think Geno's going to have a tough day sledding against that defense. Kirk's going to keep balling. I think likely is a better scheme fit against the Bucs. I do too. He's fast. He can move. You should go for Evan Ingram. 18.5 high, 105.5 receptions. Drake May high, 1.5 pass touchdown. Yeah, I like all that. I don't know about Evan Ingram. I mean, the Patriots linebackers are hurt, so they should get it. But Hunter Henry and Drake May are going to keep combining. Juju Smith-Schuster or Judy? I like Juju. Even though Judy's the guy there, I feel like Judy does have a good week kind of stepping in as wide receiver one. But I just think I'm so high on Juju. And Mahomes makes his top connection a very valid fantasy piece. Hoff, this one to you. Who's this? Tia? Or lower than 240. I don't know who that is. You got a Life of Nesto. Let us get another retype that one. I think you had a spelling error. Pollard or Mixon, Huff? That's a no-brainer. Mixon, right?
Yeah.
No
Pollard's been nice. Titans getting a little bit of a bump. I said they look better with Mason Rudolph under center.
Mm-hmm.
They're going with him today. They're looks like they're moving away from the Will Levis experiment. I know they're saying he's hurt, but I think if Will Levis comes in here and has a good game today, that he will be your new starter in Tennessee.
Have this one called out by Chance Galucci. Thanks for tuning in. One of the few on YouTube. A lot of TikTok followers here. Bowers gets in for a long shot, anytime touchdown. I don't even think it's too much of a long shot. I think the long shot is just the Raiders actually getting in the end zone is more of the long shot.
Getting across their defensive side of the field.
Yeah, but if anybody's going to get in, it should be Brock Bowers. That guy's great.
Madison, dude, they like him.
Yeah, he's a nice little PPR threat. Scat back. He does what he does best for a bad offense. He gets the ball moving. Sam Darnold or Geno Smith. I'm going to go Darnold here. Needs stream time for bye week. Colby Parkinson or Noah Fant.
Those are terrible options.
I think I'm gonna go Colby Parkinson though.
Yeah, that's probably who I'd go with too. I don't like either of
We're
those
not
guys.
high on Noah Fant. We're not high on the Seahawks today at all. Like, stay away from the Seahawks at all.
I'm
Me.
just I don't Noah Fant is like he was so underwhelming. He was supposed to be like a top 7 tight end. He just like disappeared.
Yeah, I agree. He's just always had those injury problems, and he's played in tough offenses too.
He would have been better. I wanted him to. I wish he wasn't a part of that Russ trade because he would have helped Russ in Denver.
Yeah, agreed. Harrison, we're going with Sam Darnold. It's not Sam Donald Trump over Geno Smith. It's all right, but it's going to be Sam Darnold there. Trevor less than 240. Nesto, yeah, I like that one there. Pitts are likely. I'm going to fire up Pitts just because likely there's a lot of competition for targets, and there's good linebackers on that Tampa Bay team. Devin White, Levante David. It's going to be a little bit tougher, but I still think likely as well. They have Anton Winfield to match up with them as well. Zach Moss worth a flex? No, I don't think so. He kind of looked lackluster ever since that ankle injury, and they've been turning to Chase Brown. But good questions in the chat here. Thanks for tuning in here, boys. Love that interaction.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys are staying tuned. We'll get our Week 7 recap, Week 8 analysis out on our podcast on Thursday. Make sure you're staying tuned. Like I said, to our Monday night edition. We got 2 Monday night games tomorrow with the Chargers and Cardinals and Ravens and Bucks. So make sure you're staying tuned for that for all of our best bets on Monday Night Football. Let's have a good Week 7. Let's win some money today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Go Pats.
Jesse, can you stop us?
And step up here. Step up.